A very good evening to all listeners, viewers, and participants here in Kolkata, and I guess a few from across the country too. On behalf of the IQAC of Rani Birla Girls College, I take this opportunity to extend a hearty welcome to our guest speaker this evening, Dr. Shormila Mitro, Principal Behala College, Dr. Shampa Dattagupta, Administrator Rani Birla Girls College, Dr. Sunetra Sinha, Principal Rani Birla Girls College, teachers and staff of Rani Birla Girls College, and a very, very special welcome to all participants who have tuned in this evening for the webinar. For it is your enthusiastic response, even in these trying times of the pandemic and lockdown, that inspired us and infused in us the energy and zeal to organize this online seminar conforming to the new normal code of social distancing. Rani Birla Girls College. It's a premier institute and seat of higher education for girls and was established in the year 1961 in Kolkata. Since its inception, it has come a long way and made significant contributions in the field of women's education, women's empowerment, and their upliftment. Incidentally, our guest speaker this evening is an of the political science department of our own college. Braving all odds of the current situation and the adversities that we are going through, Rani Birla Girls College has been successful in organizing this webinar and provided a platform for us to discuss, share, and exchange our views on a very, very important and relevant topic for affiliated colleges. So participants, for the next 1 hour or so, let us set aside, I dare not say forget, it's very difficult to overlook and forget the current situation that we are all in, but we can easily, for some time, put aside all our worries and apprehensions surrounding COVID-19 coronavirus of 2019, and we can concentrate on today's web topic, NAAC, Assessment and Accreditation for Affiliated Colleges, with a very special focus on the revised and upgraded framework and modalities of assessment and accreditation. We are highly privileged, and it gives us pleasure to have our speaker with us this evening. And before we call upon her, I would request our principal, Dr. Sunetra Sinha, to say a few words. Thank you.
Good evening. As Shushmita was just telling us, Rani Birla Girls College has traveled a long way since its inception in 1961. And this webinar will be our first step into the realm of the new normal living, of teaching and learning. My heartiest thanks to Dr. Shormila Mitro, Behala, Principal, Behala College, for sparing her precious time for us, and also to Dr. Shampa Dattagupta, Administrator, Rani Birla Girls College, without whose support and guidance, this webinar would be impossible. And last but not the least, my congratulations to my IQAC team who has worked so hard to make it a success. A warm welcome to all my participants, and we are all looking forward to a very enriching evening. Thank you.
It is an honor before you, it is an honor to introduce before you our speaker for the webinar, Professor Shormila Mitro, who is an educationist of eminence and is the principal of Birla College, Kolkata, affiliated to the University of Calcutta. Dr. Mitro, the principal of Behala College, is also an alumni of our Rani Birla Girls College. She completed her BA, MA, BEd and MPhil from University of Calcutta and achieved her PhD from Jahangirnagar University, Dhaka. Her research activity has mostly been in gender studies, and she has a number of published work in the national and international journals of research. Dr. Mitro has been teaching in college for the last 33 years and has been actively fulfilling her duties in different forums of the University of Calcutta. At present, she is the member of the Senate at the University of Calcutta, and she has also worked in various capacities with West Bengal Higher Secondary Council, and she has been resource person for NAAC, representing the West Bengal State Council of Higher Education within the state. Apart from teaching in the university, Calcutta University, West Bengal State University, and the government of West Bengal has time to time given her administrative responsibilities which she has been performing over the years. She is currently the chairman and the member of the West Bengal School Service Commission Southern Region and has been the chairman and member of the West Bengal Central School
Shati,
Service
please
Commission.
speak a little louder.
Okay. Dr. Mitro, am I audible?
Yes.
Dr. Mitro has been nominated by the University of Calcutta and Higher Education Department of different higher education institutes. She has been the academic nominee of the Management Committee
Hello,
of
ma'am.
Quillan College of Education.
I'm
Dr.
not audible,
Mitro
ma'am.
is an hello, hello,
একটু জোরে বল.
hello.
Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
Dr. Mitro is an ardent social worker who has been relentlessly working for the education and placement of the
You're
blind.
audible, ma'am.
She is an executive committee member of the and joint secretary of the Welfare Society of the Blind, Kolkata. Professor Mitra's experience as an academician, in the administrative sphere of institutional leadership, and also in specialized areas of educational development, makes her a repository of valued knowledge and a worthy resource person who can enlighten us most appropriately in the revised framework of the NAAC assessment and accreditation. We are privileged and fortunate to have Professor Mitra with us today, and her guidance today on the platform is most eagerly awaited.
I now welcome our speaker, Madam Professor Dr. Shormila Mitro, to take over and start her talk for the day. Madam, please.
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, ma'am.
So, good evening, everybody. Our respected Shampadi, Shampada, my dear friend, Principal Sinha, Dr. Sravanti Bhattacharya, IQAC coordinator, all members of the organizing committee, faculty members,
Ma'am, you could
everyone,
take the mic a little nearer to your.
librarians, office staff, and delegates from different parts of the world. Now, is it okay, Sravanti?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's really a pleasure to get
The
an
camera should
invitation
be a
from
bit
this college.
lower. Camera, please.
Yes, is it
Yes, ma'am.
now? As we all know, right at this moment, we all are passing through very difficult times. But parallel, we also feel in our long journey there may be crisis, may be obstacle. We must be strong. I think all of you would agree that the most easiest way to gain this mental strength is nothing short. This pandemic has also given us a strength to communicate with each other technology, just switching over a single line, which undoubtedly has multiple positive effects in every sphere. This proves construct low source of knowledge. So I think I will go into the topic and let us come across all the points that we really feel while preparing ourselves for that. Let's see. Okay. I will share the slides with you and then I will explain. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, your audio is breaking. If you could. Uh,
Is it?
yes.
Is audio disturbing?
Now it's okay, ma'am. Now it's okay. If you could.
Now it's okay.
Yes, yes, it is okay now.
Oh. So today's topic is National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAAC Assessment and Accreditation for affiliated colleges. Of course, we have all received a revised accreditation framework, and it will be better if we focus on this especially. Now, the thing is, the assessment process we all know, it goes on in 3 stages: self-study report, SSR, SSS, student satisfaction survey.
Ma'am, your audio is breaking, ma'am. Ma'am, if you could remove the headphone, I think the laptop will catch your voice better.
Now is it clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's absolutely clear now.
Now, this SSR also, it has two metrics. One is quantitative and the other is qualitative. Now, the quantitative is nothing but it is totally based on facts and figures and data. So, that part is totally calculated by NAAC, and the qualitative metrics is the part that the peer team visit, the group, the team visits and so these are the 2 parts. Now we are very well aware that there are 7 criteria: the curricular aspects, the teaching learning evaluation, research innovation and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, last but not least, that is institutional values and best practices. All the 7 criteria, they were there, they are still, there are just minor changes in some of the metrics and weightage. Now, what is the procedure? The procedural details, once we plan, we think that it's time for us to apply for NAAC, assess an accreditation. What we have to do? All higher education institutions are then required to submit institutional information, that is IIQA, online anytime during the year. Anytime means the time that is given by NAAC from the previous accreditation and the deadline for the next accreditation. 6 months before we have to apply. Keep it in mind that we should apply 6 months. But this IIQA should be duly filled before we submit. All data should be properly checked and submitted before we submit. Otherwise, it will be rejected. Now, what happens? Why will it be rejected? It will be rejected if the data remains incomplete, if the data doesn't match with your previous AQAR. Remember, again I repeat, it should match with the AQAR that the higher education institution has already submitted in the previous years. And we all know that every year we submit another category of data, AISHE, that should also match with what we are filling up and submitting. NAAC fetches all the data from different corners, from 3 different corners, and then they align the same. So if we find there are any anomaly in the data, IIQA is rejected. Now what happens when it is rejected? If it is rejected, we can resubmit. That is, twice they give HEIs the chance to resubmit. One is the proper time when we have submitted. If there is any problem with that, then again a second chance. If there is again any problem, then there is a third chance with only one single fee. But if there is again any problem, the whole thing is cancelled and you have to apply fresh. Now, the problem is that whenever now the problem is after the acceptance of IIQA, if it is rejected, you have to apply fresh. Problem is there. If it is okay, then what we have to do? NAAC will then ask to submit the SSR. Now the SSR, I would suggest the institutions, they should prepare the SSR and be ready for it with all required documents that to be uploaded in the portal of NAAC website within 45 days. That is 1.5 months. Those institutions who fail to submit the SSR within 45 days, then they will have to apply fresh. And fresh means fresh, again from IIT. So that is not expected. We all usually stay prepared and we submit. Now the SSR has to be uploaded as per the format of portal of that we all know. There is a particular format. Follow that also. Now after submission of SSR on that portal, all higher education institutions, they would receive auto-generated link ID of SSR in their registered email ID. The same SSR in PDF format should be then uploaded institutional website without any that should be uploaded. Now what happens? The SSR comprises, as I said before in my previous slides, that it has a qualitative part and quantitative part. Now the quantitative metrics, that goes to 70% of total marking, and the remaining is 30%, that is qualitative. That is the peer-team. Now the data submitted on quantitative metrics, QM, that will be subjected to validation exercise with the help of data validation and verification, DVV. Keep it in mind. We should all be aware of the fact that whatever data we are filling up and submitting, that will be verified if NAAC finds any anomaly from 3 corners which I mentioned previously, that is AQAR, AISHE, and what we have in what higher education institutions have. Now the only part that is left, that is qualitative, that will be considered after PTV, that is peer-to-peer. Any wrong data submitted, if they find that is on the verification stage, then there is a chance of penalty, no doubt. And the process of data validation and verification, that is DVV by NAAC, will be done within 30 days. That is within 1 month. Now, the quantitative metrics of SSR will be sent from this DVV process, and after DVV process is complete, DVV report will be generated. On the basis of this, the assessment and accreditation will be, that report will be sent to the PTV, that is peer team members. This PTM members, they will. Now, the AGIs will not be responsible for any arrangements for the PTM. Previously, what we had to do? We had to arrange for all the peer team members, but now it's very easy. Just 3 days before the visit, college, the institution will come to know the members, who are they, where are they coming, and it's only the duty of the college to pick them up, keep them in the place where NAAC has fixed for them, and then again the visit is completed, they will drop them in the process. The institutions had to add a link in the home page for their institutional website for all, that is the records, the files, whatever they are showing, whatever they are presenting as documents. And also the previous NAAC certificate, all that they have done, that is the AQAR, everything should be. But we should keep one thing in mind, that whatever we are uploading, it should be within a limit of 5 MB. Otherwise, it will be heavy, it will not open, and create a problem for members also. And the SSS, that is Student Satisfactory Survey report, has to be submitted during online submission of assessment. That is, both of these should be parallel. Now, institutions will be given 15 days time to complete the entire DVV process and are supposed to respond within the stipulated time during DVV clarification stage. In unforeseen situations, like natural calamities, now what we are going across, the pandemic, political problems, anything of the like, when the institution fails to comply with DVV process, further extension of 7 days shall be granted on the basis of the decision from competent authority. Now, what is the work of this SSS, Student Satisfaction Survey? It will be conducted simultaneously with DVV process. On one hand, they will verify the data. On the other hand, they will conduct the student satisfaction survey. Now, AGIs, they have to strictly upload the data of at least 50% of currently enrolled students. Keep it in mind. If there are 2,000, then 50%, 1,000 of the students report, they should. The SSS questionnaire, that is 20 objective and 1 subjective, will be emailed to all the students, and the following rule will be applied for processing the responses. What is it? I'm just starting for this PG college and autonomous also, that the response should be at least 10% of student population or 100, whichever is less. At least 10% of the student response is necessary. Otherwise, it will not be counted. So we should keep it in mind, and we should aware the students also, so that they respond when they get this. And for universities, 10% of student population evaluation, or 500, whichever is lesser. But if the response is lower, then the metric will not be taken up for evaluation, which will be major loss for these HEIs. So I would rather suggest, and I will also suggest again in my suggestions, that the core committee, the teachers, each and everyone should make the students aware of it. And SSS will be completed within 1 month after its selection. Clear? Now, what is the work of this PTM, peer team members? How do they analyze? Section 1 is very general. It's a general information about the institution. Section 2, it gives criteria-wise analysis based on peer evaluation of qualitative indicators. Instead of reporting with bullet points, this will be qualitative, descriptive assessment report. Keep it in mind that previously when we used to get the report in our hand, we saw that there were bullet points, but now it is descriptive. Section 3 presents an overall analysis which includes institutional strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges. This is very, very important. I would rather say that institutions should admit their own weakness, own strength before a team they indicate. So keep it in mind when you do the SOC analysis, you should keep it in mind that that will be a very much, I think, a focusing part. And section 4 is the records, recommendations for quality enhancement of the institution. Therein lies the total team report. Now, what is this stated metrics? It is only 35 metric points. 35. For quantitative, it is 58. So total, it is 93. And the division I have also shown here, that is qualitative metric that the peer team will mark is 3, 7, next is 1 according to criteria, 5, 2, 10, 7. That is 30. Here the marking has changed a bit in the revised. Quantitative, it is 8, 9, 10, 8, 11, 6, 6. So there is the total criteria division. This is metric and key indicators. Well, now what is the division of marks? Points rather. For curricular aspect, we have 100. Now, as I move on, I will just say, I would rather request all IQACs of all higher education institutions, focus on the part, on the points where you find the marks are more, rather than focusing on points where marks are less and it is hard to score also. Curricular aspect, what we find, curricular planning and implementation 20, academic flexibility 30 for UG, for PG also, curriculum enrichment 30 for both, and feedback system 20. That is total. Criteria 2, teaching, learning and evaluation. There are 350 marks. So this is the part where we have to score. We have to score. There is no way out. And teaching institutions, higher education institutions, we are there for teaching, to provide education. So there are ample scope to score here. Now, what is the division of marks? Student enrollment and profile, it is 40 UGPG. Catering to student diversity, 50-50. Teaching learning process, very easy to score, 50, both for UGPG. Teacher profile and quality, 60. And we teachers, we have lots of things to do. We can do, and there is scope also. Evaluation process and reforms, 30. Student performance and learning outcomes, 60 for both UGPG. Student satisfactory survey, 60, 60. So that is the division. Okay. Now for research, innovation and extension. For research, innovation and extension, promotion of research facilities, there is hardly any scope. So that case, it is not applicable. Resource mobilization for research, 15. See, the marks is 15, but we can do a lot. We can score 15 out of 15. There are scope. Keep our eyes open. Innovation ecosystem is now not applicable for UG. It's only 10 for PG. Research publication and awards, 1525. Consultancy, it's not applicable. Extension activities, oh my God. We all know there are so many things to do in this extension part. We are doing, colleges are doing, students are doing. There are funds for that also. So that is 60 for 50 and collaboration 20. 110. Next is infrastructure and learning resources. So physical facilities, 30 for both UGPG. Library as a learning resource, 2020. Very easy to score. Very easy. Because there are now all avenues are open for us. And after pandemic, I find all are there to give you marks. IT infrastructure, 30-30, and maintenance of campus infrastructure, 20. Sometimes we feel very bothered. Campus is small, sharing complex, what to do, this and that. No, it hardly matters. There is 20 marks. Leave it. Student support and progression. Student support, 50. Student progression, 30. 25 for PG. Student participation and activity, 50 and 45. And alumni engagement, 10. Governance and leadership, a very vital part, main part of the train, the engine part. So we all know when it is okay, the entire journey will be fine. So institutional vision and leadership, both 10-10. Strategy development and deployment, both UGPG. Faculty empowerment strategies, 30-30. Financial management and resource, 20 for both UGPG and internal assurance system. 100. Institutional values and best practice, 100. It is really easy to score because values and social responsibilities we do. But what is it? We are doing a lot of work, but we need to keep documents. Documentation is the main part which will just help you to score this. Best practice. Lots and lots of best practices are there. I will just discuss some later on. Institutional distinctiveness. Every institution has its own distinctiveness, of course. We do believe. So out of this. Now the part is, there's a little bit of mathematics here. In case of higher education institutions who want an exercise to opt for weightage, then 3% of non-applicable metrics, the total score will vary accordingly. That is, we can opt. And the opting part is some of the metrics which may not be applicable to them for various reasons, they can opt that. Of course, from not qualitative but quantitative. 30 will be not more than 3%. That is, it should not exceed 30 weightage. And only keep it in mind from quantitative, not from qualitative. Again, we can cannot opt from criteria 1, 2, and 7. So 3, 4, 5, and 6. Metrics with maximum of total 10 weightage per criteria. Herein lies the choice. What will the institution do when they choose this opting path? They have to put a mind in it. Accordingly, you can score also. In that case, 30% goes off and the 30 goes off and the marks will be calculated accordingly. Just let me give a glimpse of this opting part. Criteria 3, 3.1.2, we can opt 5 marks. That is percentage of departments having research projects funded by government and non-government agencies during the last 5 years. If we find it is not good, the record shows a bit poor data, a weak data. Number of seminars and conference. Oh my God. Now, full of webinars. No question of opting this. Each and everyone can score 5. Number of awards and recognitions. These awards should be properly verified with documents. Local awards, awards from clubs will not be accepted when the document will be placed before team. So while choosing the awards and taking into account from different teachers and faculty members, please go through this. Number of functional moves with national, international institutions, universities, industries, corporate houses during last 5 years. Now there is really a chance of these type of agreements and moves. Even corporate sectors, they are interested because they are doing that, running their placement cell. Industries, they are very interested. Even we can go on signing moves with neighboring colleges, with colleges of rural areas, so that they can share ours. We also can do something innovative. This is criteria 3. These are the points, that is 3.1.2, 3.1.3, 3.3.2, 3.4.2 is the point, metric points that we can opt out. From criteria 4, 1.1, 4.1.4, average percentage of expenditure excluding salary for infrastructure communication during last 10 months. 4.4.1, average percentage of expenditure incurred on maintenance of infrastructure, basically physical support, excluding salary component during the last 5 years. Then 5.1.2, only 2 metric numbers from criteria 4. From criteria 5, 5.1.2 can be opted out. That is average percentage of students benefited by scholarship, freeship, etc. provided by institution besides government during last 5 years. See, government is giving us a lot for students, but NAAC doesn't count that. What have you done for your children? What have you done? What has institution done for you? So if we find the data is not up to the mark, we can pass. Average percentage of students benefited by scholarship, freeship, etc. provided by institution, non-government agencies during last 5 years. This is the part we can. 5.2.1, average percentage of placement of outgoing students during last 5 years. See, we have seen in AISHE also, for national ranking also, everywhere they are asking, then what? Then what? After the student pass out, then. And majority of the higher education institutions have now changed their vision also. They are saying from learning to earning. It's not only learning, from learning to earning. So if we can show a proper data, if we can give numbers, then why will we opt out this? This is a very important question, and it will also help higher education institution to work out somewhere else. 5.2.2 average percentage of students that progressing to higher education during last 5 years. I think each and every college have a good record of this. For higher education students are going, and they are also keeping a track. So college is also keeping a track. I think we should talk about this. Now 5.2.3 is saying average percentage of students qualifying in state, national, international level examination during last 5 years. JAM, GATE, CLAT, GMAT, CAT, GRE, TOEFL, whatever. Now, in this case, for colleges and institutions of rural area, sometimes we find with only arts department, we find the data may be that case we can do this. Of course, this is my suggestion. 5.4.2 is alumni contribution. Alumni contribution economically or physically by helping out the college students in other ways, whatever it is, that is also a point we can opt out. Then we come to criteria 6. Criteria 6, 6.2.3, implementation of e-governance in area of operation. Now, I find every college is now have taken into account and consideration the entire e-governance process. Now, administration, finance and accounts, of course, we all have that. And then students admission, totally online, totally e-support, and of course, examination. So, whatever it is, I don't think we will opt for this. 6.3.3, average number of professional development, administrative training programs organized by the institution from teaching and non-teaching. See, we always focus on teaching staff, faculty, go for faculty development, do this refresher, do that. Then what about the office staff? What about this non-teaching staff? They also need a lot of things to know. As because now we are all in online process, e-pension. Isn't it so? So we will also take this interest and the responsibility to train them. That is a very important. 6.4.2 funds, grants received from non-government bodies, individuals, philanthropists during last 5 years. 8 marks we can. So at last, with all these comes our CGPA, and as we all know, 3.51 to 4, A++, 3.26 plus, 3.01 to 3.25, A, 2.76 to 3, B++, 2.51, 2.75, B+, 2.01, 2.50, B, 1.51 to 2 is C, till C is say accredited. For D, without the higher education institution scoring below that is not accredited. So here is the structure, the final grade. Now let me discuss some of the criteria, qualitative. Let me see what we can do, what we really want to do, what are the scope that we can do. Now, as I discussed, I will just mention one thing. For this criteria, I will not go in for slides for every criteria. Some which are very important, where I need to give my expertise, I will definitely share the screen. Otherwise, I will just say what I feel and what one should do. Now, curricular aspect, curriculum planning and implementation. It is a very common factor, for a very common point for this higher education institutions. Now there are ample of things to do. and academic diary. It covers like minute level. Academic is very important because it covers minute level teaching, learning, and evaluation planning. Each and every institute must make it a point, must and should, to maintain an academic diary. Now, methods of delivery also, it is also very important in the sense that there should be bridge courses for what? Bridge previous knowledge and the new syllabus. Sometimes we say students coming after HS, after doing their 12, passing out 12, they feel when they go in for subjects which they haven't done, they feel there is a huge difference. For that, we need bridge courses. Now, PPT has become a very common. So, regular PPT classes we can conduct. Online video classes, like for teachers also, courses, students, so that can help them to get it. Curriculum development. Examination as a kind of parameter for effective curriculum delivery. What type of it is? It should be a surprise test, it can be home assignments, anything, just to measure their knowledge. And faculty will take the initiative, curriculum development process. Now, what is curriculum enrichment? Curriculum enrichment, that is it. Like, options should be available for students to take additional and supplementary enrichment courses along with their regular, apart from syllabus, we need to do. Okay? What is it? Subjects like planning budget. It's a very, very supportive subject. Political awareness. Of course, need to groom them. Child development. Nutrition to be imbibed among students. Half of the students, they are not aware of their food and diet. That is it. Curriculum has aspects on value-based education. Value-based education, we celebrate, we observe days, but it's not that. We need to give them specific value-based education, especially commerce department. Those colleges who are running commerce department, I would rather request you to go in for things like entrepreneurship, Indian banking, applied economics, human resource management. These are the programs one can undertake. So that is it, how we can score marks in this curricular aspect. Now, again, I will share scheme with teaching, learning, and evaluation. Now, teaching, learning, and evaluation, as I said, 350 marks, no question of leaving one aside. You should score each and every. Now, catering to student diversity. We need to assess the students' learning level after admission and conduct appropriate remedial courses. Now, the question arises, how will we do that? After admission, of course. After orientation, we'll do an online profile mapping. And that profile mapping will give you the total picture of the students, their level of knowledge, their IQ level, their family background, everything. And that will help the institute to choose the subject, even if he or she wants to change the subject. Analysis, application, understanding, remembering, recall. I myself feel this is the process. What is it? Analysis, application among students, understanding what they understand, remembering, tell them to repeat and recall. That will be the process. Orientation program for freshers to understand learning objectives with PO, PSO, or that is program outcome, program specific outcome, and course outcome. Program outcome, the department he or she has chosen. Program specific, that is whether general, whether honors, whatever it is. And then to map it with courses. That is what we need to show. For school learners, vernacular limitation should be over. Vernacular limitation in some cases creates a little bit of problem where even efficient students they in that case language lab plays a significant role. According to area, according to districts, according to state, you can just set up that language lab. Adopt appropriate strategies for advanced learners. Advanced learners should be given ample scope in every stage. Advanced learners will be given additional support in library. Advanced learners can also be asked to take classes, conduct classes, so that they can teach their batchmates and themselves, they groom themselves. Tutorial classes should be conducted. Now, one thing I should say, tutorial class does not always mean the topic I will just come and will ask the student, today we'll take a tutorial on this topic. Actually, tutorial means to train the students to develop the habit of writing within time. We have seen many students in our service period where they are very good, but when they sit for an examination, they forget. They couldn't write. They feel nervous. Here we need to groom them. So tutorial class is this. And mechanism for mentoring students. Each and every higher education institution, every department, every teacher should take this as an important part of their job. That is mentoring. Mentor-mentee relationship solves 50-75% of the problem. Student in all sectors. Institution caters to the needs of differently able students. There may be visually challenged. We can give them JAWS software. They can use that. That will help them a lot. We can set up an audio where we can record the books and keep it in the archives. They will just listen to that. That helps a lot. So, institution should and must cater to different students. Now, what should be the teaching learning process? Teaching learning program schedule and methodologies planned and organized in advance. Experimental learning methodologies for participative learning to be used. Educational technology, audio, video aids to be effectively used. Problem solving approach as a teaching methodology may be. There are several, many ways. I have given a few. Think, pair, share. Create them in groups. Make them sit in groups and just give an idea. Think, pair up among yourselves and then share the idea. Then come up. Collaborative problem solving. Flipped classroom. Excellent, excellent. It works out very well. Workshop on innovative teaching methods for faculty. True. Faculty is always working hard. They will work hard. So the college and the institute will support. Now what really we think that there should be an e-content development part. All are in e-books and this in flip. So there should be a part e-content development. Computer aided information retrieval and teaching methodology adopted and we have already adopted. Library resources be effectively used to augment teaching learning. Now, library resources has taken a major part and they have taken a very good shape. So, library resources to be effectively used to augment teaching. Laboratory equipment, field experience can be effectively used to maximize teaching. One thing I must say that it is not only those departments where we have excursion within the syllabus. No, educational tour, educational excursions give them ample knowledge, field experiences. They will come back, they will prepare a project on that. That will help us in internal assessment. Various teaching methods such as interactive method, group discussions, not only chalk and talk methods. Chalk and talk is always green, it's evergreen, undoubtedly. But various teaching methods such as interactive method, group discussions, demonstrative method, brainstorming methods to be developed. Projects, fieldworks, industrial tour will make teaching process very interesting. Undoubtedly, it will make very interesting. Now, what about the evaluation process? Of course, we always think of continuous evaluation. Now, not only evaluation, monitoring. How much the student is progressing. What is his or her curve? Where is it? Where is the graph going? Previously, we had midterm, semester evaluations, the usual ones, but we will go in for surprise test. That will give us to measure a lot. Open book examination is also a very interesting part. Unless and until you know the topic, you will not be able to write a single line, even if they give you the book, the entire book and the material. That helps to know the teacher whether the student is working, going through the materials. Graded activities based on regular teaching knowledge. Very interesting ones, like it is not monotonous, quiz, reflection, quiz assimilation, this type of things, that helps a lot. But whatever we are doing, it's only our part. What about the students? We should give them scope to say at least a cell to let us know what they are feeling. Students' grievances regarding evaluation, that should also be given to us. That needs. Now all are MCQ craze. So MCQ is there. Learning management system, library management system. Both are LMS. That is library management system. This is learning management system. This will help a lot in evaluation system. Many colleges has developed. It's interesting and it also gives the student interest in giving examination. I just said mentor-mentee. Feedback and parents meet. This mechanism is also very good for internal assessment. Once the student comes in college, we forget that we have this. And they also feel that we are so grown up, it will not be easy to bring their parents here. No, it's not them also. Students' feedback is to be collected and teaching learning process can be monitored. That is good. Like whatever process we develop, NAAC says we should always get the feedback, whether it's working or not, whether we can go in for that, whether we are, whatever we are doing, it is for the students, for the benefit of students, whether we can do it, or what are we doing, is it really fruitful or not? It's not that we are just acknowledging. We must always students' performance and learning. Now, this is also, it comes automatically, define the desired learning outcomes and make students, staff aware of. Not only students, each and everyone should be aware of each subject and their outcomes. Each subject and their outcomes. Why are we giving them this subject? Why are you choosing this? What is the outcome of this? And how is the syllabus related with it? Frame strategies of teaching, learning, and assessment. facilitate the achievement of these learning goals. Definitely, and ensure social and economic relevance, quality jobs, entrepreneurship, innovation, research, whatever you think, the course offers, the course outcome. That will help the student to grow interest in that particular path. Collect and analyze data on student learning outcomes and use it for curriculum. Next batch, when again the next session starts, this feedback will help the faculty, the head of the institution, to just go on for enrichment. PO, PSO, and CO, I have already said, should be specifically mentioned, and course outcomes to be measured, and formal method to be developed after completion of the syllabus. That will help both teacher and student. Next is research, innovation, and extension. Now, innovation ecosystem has gone to colleges only. So, even then, I'm saying maybe many PG colleges, members from delegates from PG colleges have joined. The institution conducts workshops, seminars on intellectual property right, IPR, industry. Awards for innovation won by institution, teachers, research scholars, students, startups, colleagues. Now, extension activities, as I said, there are ample scope. Now, we can promote this extension activities. Participation of students, okay, it's fine, but faculty extension programs are also very, very important. It's not only that it's for the students, for the entire institution. Just as we see corporate social responsibility, corporate houses are taking this type of responsibilities to lift up the fascia of these corporate houses. So why are we sitting there? No, we won't. And we are not liable to also. We will work together with the students, with area, the public of the area, different categories of people within the area. We always organize NCC, NSS activities. That is very common. Awards and recognitions received for extension activities. The more we work, the proper way we do, we get awards. We get awards from universities, from different bodies, NGOs, fine. But we should keep it in mind that these awards may give us marks, but we need to keep it in a process. It is not a one-time work. Extension activity cannot be taken as a one-time job. It will continue for years and for years. Impact of extension activities on community evaluation, review, upgradation, everything. We can establish partnership with industries. Yes, we can. We can develop, we can sign MOUs with corporate houses. We can. And this will give us a lot of scope for research innovation. Not only for teachers, students. So this is the proper way that we follow. Next is infrastructure and resources. Yes, all of us, we love to be within an institute where the infrastructure is huge, the resource is very good, and we get all type of facilities and everything. What can we really get? What we expect? Institution provides necessary facilities for classrooms. True. We always go on saying, no, we don't have sufficient classrooms, this and that. So classroom. Institution provides necessary facilities for laboratories, for science departments, really we need. But now it is not only necessary laboratories, upgraded laboratories, upgraded ones. Provide sports facilities for students. Even if we don't have our own sports ground, Don't worry, we can sign more with other colleges, neighboring colleges, with universities, with other NGOs, and we can conduct games, we can do what we like. Institution has necessary facilities for computer education for students. Yes, we can. And there are so many houses waiting to donate to provide such things. Hardwares. Infrastructural facilities are augmented from really time to time. Infrastructural facilities should be and are being utilized optimally. It should be utilized. We just cannot set up a lab and keep it there tight, neat and clean. Once you enter a lab and you find there is nothing, spick and span. No, the students are not using it. Not done. Must utilize it optimally. Additional facilities for sports and extracurricular activities that we should always try to give them good trainer, proper guidance, sign more with local clubs so that they can go and share that. They can play with it. They can represent the party. Adequate facilities for women, girl students. Very, very important. And facilities, different type of facilities for differently abled. As I said earlier, again, I will not repeat, but there are ample scope and we should. See, I've just shown you few of my suggestions like staff rooms, smart classrooms. Yes. Now what I really concentrate nowadays is a meditation. We need a meditation. Students sometimes they feel helpless. They need to meditate. They need to concentrate. E-content development lab. Very, very, very important. We all have common rooms for students, restrooms, toilets for differently abled, challenged teacher and students. A healthcare center is very necessary. Vehicle parking is very good, very necessary, because many cases in the suburbs, in the rural areas, they come by cycle. They need a place to keep them. And the way the flow of seminars and webinars we are spending now, not for webinars, sorry, for seminars, we are spending so much for keeping, for national and international, keeping the, a speaker, honorable speaker here, there, hotels. If we can, if we have, and if we can just pinch in with the idea, that is guest houses. Canteen for student is more or less available. But I feel teachers should also have a separate cafeteria. Communication facilities should be there. Proper electricity, generator, these are the facilities. Transport, in some cases, we find that the college is somehow 4 or 5 kilometers away from the proper transportation route. In that cases, if the college can provide a pickup van, drop in, that helps. And a little bit of landscape, whatever space one has, they should utilize it. A little bit of landscape is always necessary. That gives not only oxygen, relief, vision. Focus is very good. Now, library itself is really a major part of an institution. Although the marks that it carries, it sounds not much. I feel that it is the part when the budget comes of a college, when the committee sits preparing the budget, library budget is kept separately because needs. Now, totally digital library is suggested, but even in that cases, it is all areas, it is not possible. Maybe it is not possible. In that cases, number of titles, copies of book, it should be maintained properly. Number of journals and other library resources. Library resources are augmented every year with newer editions and titles. That the librarian should keep in mind. Effective and user-friendly library operations. And that should be very like attentive. Like students must feel very comfortable when once they enter the library. Reprographic facilities should. Nowadays, internet facility, oh yes, it has become a very important part, an effective functioning of library advisory committee. I myself feel that every higher education institution must have a very compact, well-knit library. Computerization of library and other libraries, state libraries, central libraries, university libraries. IT infrastructure, after all these pandemic is over, we go to college. The only thing I think is IT infrastructure. All will just jump into it. Adequate up-to-date library computer facilities available for all, for faculty, for students, for office, for everyone. Provide access to computers for faculty. We have that also to be concentrated on. Provides access to computers for students. Website. Now, here I must remind every higher education institution, just like your teaching plan, keep your website updated. Before the peer team visits your college, it's not only that you will just go on brushing up the website at that time. No. All throughout the years, 365 days, there should be a person monitoring the website. Anytime, anywhere, anyone from any corner of the world will just click the button to see where is this college and what are its characteristics, distinctiveness. So keep it in mind, website is not a one-time job. The campus, maintenance of campus facilities, there should be a proper budget every year for maintenance. Physical, whatever we feel, that is all. Different type of EMIs. We should always go in for this. Just install a machine and then forget about it. Don't do it. You must keep it in mind that this is the asset of the college and that should be looked after. Utilize the funds allocated for maintenance. Sometimes it so happens that the budgetary committee, the finance committee, they allot the budget and then everyone forgets about it. At the end of the year, something is left. What is left? Maintenance. Because nothing was done. Adequate system for maintaining and utilizing physical facilities, including library and information. Adequate system for maintaining computers. That should be. Students' participation. Now, the higher education institutions are institutions for student participation. It is the only thing that we expect from students, by the students, and conducted by us. So we are always to keep in mind to organize students' cultural activities. Oh, by the way, NAAC always wants cultural programs only by students and teachers. Previously, it so happened we used to bring lovely big shots from this corner and that corner to conduct a evening cultural program. Now stop. Everything has gone. You have to do it with your own students. So organize students' cultural activities, provide access to and encourage use of recreational and leisure time. What will they do? Sometimes in some of the institutions, they don't have space, they don't have space, sports ground. At least give them a space so that they can spend a little bit of time with music. That will give them a very, I would rather say, extension of their mind. They will feel very light. Provide sports and games facilities for students, both indoor and outdoor. Support them. Let them participate anywhere, everywhere. And when the budgetary committee meets, tell them to allot this amount in their budget. encourage students' participation in institutional, state, national, international. If necessary, help them out. From your corpus fund, keep some financial allotment aside. Help them. Let them go. Let them participate. Maybe they will not bring any prizes for the institute. But even then, that is also a mental strength. Alumni engagement. Alumni engagement is also a very important thing. One who is an alumni of an institution must always come to the forefront, give suggestions, help out in other ways, whatever need, whenever there is any necessary. Even psychological counsel can be done by the alumni. Yes, because that is the proper method. Once an alumni sits in a psychological counseling and say, I am a student of this college, see, I have done this. That helps a lot. These two sentences helps a lot. The student who is there, who has come for this counseling will feel so comfortable. Yes, ma'am, you have done it, so we can also do it. Yes, you can. That is it. So that was what really students support. Institutional vision and leadership. We, every institutional head, leader, whatever we say, must keep in mind the vision and goal of the institute. Everything should be channelized, done, objectives, higher education, whatever we say, the main thing is the mission and vision of the college, of the institute. And one have to give that. That is what keeps the entire train in the track. Management will be there, and like management should also be kept in, always informed with the entire system. Okay. Now, the non-teaching staff also should be properly informed. They should also know what they really wanted to say. Strategy development and deployment. Now, strategy development and deployment, it should be organized as per norms, information arrangements, different committees, decentralization. We will develop committees. Let them work together, work in a team. See what we say? PTV, peer team visit. PTM, peer team members. So all are in a team. Let us work in a team. Decentralize. Let them participate in management system. That will help. That will help the institute. Effective functioning of grievance cell. See, maybe students, they don't open up everywhere. But once we have a grievance cell, that helps them to say at least what they want to. Maybe that feedback will give us another sphere, another focus. That may be sexual harassment cell. That may be not only sexual harassment, that may be also financial grievances, whatever it is. And committees like local management committee, there should be accounts committee, recruitment committee, service record committee. These are the committees which will help the leader and institution. Faculty empowerment strategies. Faculty empowerment strategies are training, retraining, motivating all the employees and suitable performance appraisal system. That is needed. One should assess what he or she is doing. Welfare schemes is also very, very important, and it should be available for both teaching and non-teaching staff. And measures should be taken by the institution for attracting or retraining eminent faculty and students. Financial management and resource mobilization. As I have said, there are resources here and there, but we need to bring it. We should work hard to bring that. See, we have different lands. MP lads, MLA lads. We have to go. We have to fetch money. We can't only depend on fees, tuition fees. No, we have budgetary provisions for academic and administrative activities. And we should also utilize. This is how, like, what we need to do is, there's a government auditor, true, but we also should go through an internal audit, financial as well as academic. The IQAC, all my delegates, all my participants who are from IQAC said, please do keep it in mind. Every year conduct an academic audit, internal academic audit. You don't have to bring anyone from outside. Just make a team from within the IQAC cell, visit each department, write your report, show them the report. They will just rectify within a month. See whether it works. Have to well work. So, financial management, resource mobilization, these are words which we really can achieve very easily. Internal quality assurance system empowerment strategies. Just now I said, this is how we will do regular meetings, implementation of decisions. We only sit for meeting, we write pages after pages and then close the file. No, should be followed. Student participation in quality enhancement, quality assurance, institutional initiatives in institutionalizing and internalizing best practices and innovations. You should always make it as a teamwork, continuously adding value to students through enhancement of quality of education. That is where internal quality assurance system lies. From there we will get the power, the strength to go. So next, we come to institutional values and best practice. This is an important part. Now, there are a little bit of change in this anyway. Now, gender has taken a very important place. 7.1.1 says measures initiated by the institution for promotion of gender equity during last 5 years. We do a lot of work. And please keep it in mind, nowadays we also keep documents. That is what PTV will look into. Visit will be conducted, peer team will express. Annual gender sensitization action plan. For gender, I would rather say, please go in for gender audit. That will help you a lot. And that will specifically make the institute understand where the institute is standing. Specific facilities for women, safety and security, we do. Counseling, special counseling for girl students. We have separate common rooms. Daycare center for young children. Vending machines. Now, in rural areas, sometimes we find that parents also, they don't allow their daughter to come regularly to college. In that case, we suggest, I would stress on the point that teachers meet parents and counseling. Anti-dowry program to be held regularly. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao is a very now a known banner. We can work a lot under this. And we can do what? We can bring eminent women lawyers, conduct lectures by them, gynecologists to create awareness among girls. Nothing of that. It's easy. Only what we need to do is take the initiative. Environmental consciousness and sustainability. 7.1.3 sees environmental consciousness and sustainability. The institution organizes gender equity promotion every time. The institution facilitates the differently able students effective dealing with location advantage where the institution is situated and disadvantages also. This is the point where we should lay stress. Explicit concern for human values and professional ethics. The institution displays sensitivity to issues like climate change, environmental issues. This should be looked upon. Green audit is very important. Green audit should be done by all institutions. Every institution must go in for this solid waste management, liquid waste management, nothing. It doesn't need anything, only just a little bit of space. Biomedical waste management. Those colleges in the rural area, they have acres and acres of land. Why don't you go in for all these? E-waste management, waste recycling system, hazardous chemicals and radioactive waste management. This will bring points, definitely will bring points. Inclusion and situations. It's national integration. See, NAAC wants us that there should be a harmony towards cultural, regional, linguistic. There was a very nice program in a rural college where there was a national integration program by felicitating intercaste, interreligious married couples. Lovely program. 22 of the couples were brought there and they were felicitated, and their idea, their motto, their vision was just promoted. That is it. It is the idea. There we should hammer. We should know where to hammer, how to fetch in marks. Human values and professional ethics. Sensitization of students and employees of the institution to the constitutional obligation, values, rights, duties, responsibilities. This we really do. We really do. This is our work. The institution we celebrate, we organize national, international commemorative days, events, festivals. This is very common, very nicely conducted. Institutional values and best practice. Best practice will be a practice. All institutions, all higher education institutions must keep it in mind. Best practice should be a practice. It should not be an one-time jump. What we can do? We can just give up with financial aid to deserving students of the college every year, every month, bi-monthly, half-yearly, annually. Earn while learn scheme for deserving students. Earn while you learn. Go work for the library. Work from the library. Prepare cards. Make book lists. You will be paid for that. Education beyond classroom. Definitely, that is the best practice. And now we are in it. There's nothing to say. 360-degree teachers appraisal system. 360-degree means a feedback from four corners. Feedback from teacher, him or herself. Feedback from students. Feedback from head of the institution and an external peer. 360-degree will give you a clear idea about what we are doing. Properly, are we continuing with our job, our service? That is imparting education. Online practice portal for competitive examination. What are we doing for students? Yes, they are getting big jobs, going here and there, well placed. But then what have the institute done? Institute have not done anything. After passing out, they have spent thousands and thousands, sometimes lakhs to take training. They go here and there and there and there, take tuitions to sit in for competitive examinations. What are we doing? Why can't we run this system while they are in college? From third sem, we'll start and just regularly conduct a class within the timetable so that they can attend that. And they can sit in for an exam online, measure themselves, where are they, where is their knowledge, with different type of questions. It is a practice. This is a practice. Faith formation session. They are losing confidence. We can help. Promotion of entrepreneurial spirit. Commerce colleges. We have language lab. We have science lab. Do we think about a business lab? Yes, we can. Where entrepreneurs, bank managers, big shots, stock market people, they will come and train you. What will you do after you pass on with BCom? These are practice. Daily teachers e-diary. Why will we go on writing this, absent, letter? We will have an e-diary. Every morning, this is the class allotted for me. I have taken this. I couldn't take 2 classes. What was my reason? I had to do this job, this job, this job. All in E. This is a practice every day. That is institutional distinctiveness is really depends upon institute, how they will feel their characteristics, how they will go on with that. Now, just give me an idea of documents that is verified during PTV, peer team visit. Now, it is that, like, when we fill up the forms, I mean the format, we sometimes say that some of our members are members of Board of Studies. You have to keep the record. Any member who is a member of Board of Studies of the university, file should be checked. Daily diary is a part that every peer team will look into. They will also check the academic calendar. The IQAC meeting, resolution, everything should be kept properly so that peer team members can look. Right now, we all are having classrooms, e-classrooms through Google, through Zoom, whatnot. Please keep the record. Otherwise, every effort will be. Just now I said that there are ample scope for gender programs, gender-related programs. Please keep the documents properly because these are the qualitative part that will be checked by people. Gender audit, if one institute can organize, it is very, very impressive. Keep the records, that will get weightage. Different type of MOUs we sign. MOU with other colleges, MOU with library, MOU with industry. That documents will be very important. In criteria 2, we said advanced learners, slow learners. How do we identify them? And what are we doing for slow learners? What are we doing for? Please keep these documents. This will be checked. We say we take remedial classes. What is the process of taking remedial classes? How are we keeping record of that? How does the head of the institution know this is a remedial or normal or general or tutorial what? Documentation. Please keep these documents. This will be checked and verified by TV. All interactive sessions will be looked into, like if you keep record of doubt clearing classes, quiz, whatever there is. All interactive. Audio visual classes, audio visual documents will be checked. ICT based education, wherever we are seeing, we are filling up the format, we are putting the data, please keep the documents ready because ICT based education will be checked. Now it's very easy for us at present for last 3 months. Previously it so happened many colleges they used to follow the process of uploading lectures in YouTube, in Google classes. Link, provide the link, keep the record part. Regarding evaluation process, if there is any reform, internal reform, show it. What we had previously, what we are doing now. Please do show the record. Any type of extension work, NSS, NCC, whatever we have, everything should be shown along with photograph. That is very important. And properly arranged according to years. Internal assessment should be kept in record. After evaluation, the papers must be kept because sometimes it so happens at random PTM, peer team members check it. Guardian meet, mentoring process, everything will be looked at. Documents will be checked. What mentoring process? It will be checked. So that is it. Grievance redressal cell. What type of grievances are there? What are the redressal process? Very, very, very well checked and kept shown. The main point that I said in 2.6.1, that is program outcome, program specific outcome, and course outcome, that should also be kept in research work, that is totally on documentation. The entire research project, individual, as a whole, college, phase project, whatever is DST, whatever is there should be kept in documents. Students' council, their papers should also be kept in how it is formed, what are they work, what are they doing, everything. Participation of students in games, other states, national, international, everything. Add-on courses. Add-on courses will be given importance and how it is conducted. Certificate courses. Please keep in mind all type of courses. Additional part will be checked by peer teams. We say MOOCs, SWAYAM. Please keep them in record so that you can show them how many of teachers, students, whoever have attended, what have they done and where are the certificates. Registration of the alumni, what type of work the alumni is doing, that will also be checked. The financial part, audit, internal, external, lab development, infrastructure, documentation, mobilization of funds, everything will be checked. So, the main point is, another thing is, if there is any RTI, please keep it in mind, keep the papers properly arranged. Internal complaint committee. Internal complaint committee is a compulsory committee. Please keep the formation properly done. Please keep the records properly, show them. Academic and administrative audit, papers to be shown, both internal and external. So, these are the things that one should properly show the team. We do a lot of work, but sometimes we are unable to present them properly. Should present. Therein lies the credit. Whatever we have cooked, we have served. That is it. Nearly to an end. My suggestions after a long lecture, I feel that every institution must focus on computer literacy and communication skills. Make it a compulsory part for students. If possible, put it in your regular timetable so that they are forced to go in for that. Now it's totally all are online. So this is our duty also. Short-term courses, certificate, diploma courses must be introduced. But parallelly, government skill development programs brings a lot of weightage. Please focus on that. For colleges in the rural area, I will say, please focus on organic farming, food preservation, bee apiary may be developed for honey production. And you can sign more with the government also. They are very, very interested. There are so many avenues we can really get in. Looking for painting, swing, stitching, special courses for girl students. Not only for rural colleges, for proper ones also. Now painting, art, handicrafts, it is really bringing weightage, mileage. Externally funded research projects should be given preference and importance. As I have said earlier, language lab is really important for communicative skills. More focus to procure some useful and functional modes. More should be there and it should be really functional. Once in a blue moon, we signed a move and then forget about it. Just now I said online entry in service training for students. That is very good. Regular career counseling. Career counseling is different from psychological counseling. Both should be done properly. You need to bring a psychiatrist in every institution at least once a week to solve the problem, at least to listen to the students, listen to them, have a patient's hearing, what they say, what they really want to say. Colleges with science department should focus on infrastructural facilities, upgraded labs, as I said. Library should be strengthened. Automation is very, very, very necessary. Sports and cultural facilities, that is to be enhanced. Major and more participation in MOOCs courses. Extension program, we are doing, but that should also be carried forward. Vermicompost unit to be introduced in all colleges. So, that's it. And I think I've taken a lot of time. Thank you so much for your patience hearing. Stay safe and sound.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, our participants have asked a lot of questions. So, I think we have time for a few of them. Our moderator, Mrs. Debachuna Dotto from the IQAC team, will now ask some of the questions that have been put up by the participants in the chat box. Okay. Debachuna.
Madam, one thing, since it will not be possible to go on answering with all questions, questions which really need to be.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She will
Yes.
just she has selected only a few, 4, 5, 6 questions. She will the important ones. She will give you the questions, and if you could kindly answer, give your response to those. Yeah, Debachana, please go ahead.
Good evening. On behalf of Rani Birla Girls College, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for a comprehensive and enlightening talk on the revised accreditation framework of NAAC assessment. I anticipate that the presentation will benefit all colleges aspiring for NAAC or its renewal. Now, though most of the participants have posted that this was a very useful and informative session, yet we have received queries from a number of participants. However, I apologize that it would not be possible for us to address all such questions due to time constraint. But before we wrap up the session, we shall take up a couple of questions very quickly with the Honorable Speaker Man. And I begin with the first question is from Rajashri Dashgupta, and she writes, Madam, what is this gender audit? It is not getting very clear. Can you please explain in somewhat detail? Ma'am, your response, please.
Yes. Gender audit is an audit where you will just take the data of the entire college from student strength, from teaching strength, from management, from office, everywhere, the percentage of girl student and boy student. And then you will come to a conclusion and report will be generated accordingly that what is the status of that college. There is several parts, several phases of it, through which this audit will be conducted, and accordingly the committee will prepare that report. A methodology will be there, why a questionnaire will be there, different questions for different sections, and accordingly the report.
Next question is from our very own senior professor of Rani Birla Girls College, Dr. Nandita Choudhury, and she writes, one question to Dr. Mitro. Since we are living in pandemic times, will having a digital library enhance our grading?
Pardon, please, will you repeat the question?
One question to Dr. Mitro. Since we are living in pandemic times, will having a digital library enhance our grading in NAAC assessment?
Yes, not only because we are in pandemic time or not. Digital knowledge hub should always be digital. Library is a knowledge hub. So it is not only a place where there will be a time bound entry and exit. No, it's a 24/7 operational part. So digital is undoubtedly the main focus.
Next question. I'm not very sure of who posted it, but the question says, ma'am, what is POS stroke PSO? I am new to the field of teaching, so kindly answer in brief.
It's a very valid question, but it is also a very important part for NAAC questionnaire. It is program outcome, PSO is program specific outcome, and CO is course outcome. Program outcome, that is the program where the students have taken admission. Specific outcome is whether the student is in audit general, and course is the particular unit.
Now, MR Gautam, he has texted inter-organizational versus intra-organizational activities, which will increase our NAAC score.
See, it depends upon what we are really doing. Maybe inter, maybe intra. But if we can focus the exact aim, what we really wanted to say, wanted to do, both will fetch marks, whether it's intra or inter.
Okay. Next, we have a question from Shushmita Sengupta. We have purchased online journal. Purchasing hard copy, is it necessary?
No, not necessary. Online will definitely work. It's not that we always need to keep hard copies. No.
Okay, so I suppose we have been able to just clear off some of your doubts. Now I request Dr. Shravanti Bhattacharya, NAAC coordinator, Rani Birla Girls College, to deliver the vote of thanks.
So, good evening, everyone. We have come to the end of this wonderful program. So, I am the IQAC coordinator of Rani Birla Girls College. I am here to present the vote of thanks for this program of today's evening's program. On behalf of Rani Birla Girls College and its IQAC team, I embrace this opportunity to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Dr. Shormila Mitro for enlightening us on such an issue of high salience and pertinence for all institutions of higher education in India. The extremely illuminating lecture and insightful directives which we received from you, ma'am, today shall certainly motivate all of us and all the participating institutions to reorient ourselves better in the light of the revised accreditation framework. Thank you, ma'am, once again. I thank our administrator, Dr. Shampa Dattagupta, for reviving the IQAC of our institution and giving us an opportunity to enhance our quality initiatives through her constant support and encouragement. I thank our principal, Dr. Shunetra Sinha, for providing us with the needed leadership, support, and encouragement for organizing this webinar. I thank the entire IQAC team and especially the internal committee members of IQAC for their enthusiastic engagement and involvement in this initiative. I would also like to thank all my colleagues, both teaching and non teaching, for their cooperation and logistic support in conducting and bringing this webinar to you live. Last but not the least, I thank all the participating institutions and individuals for being with us on this knowledge sharing avenue and making it a successful program. I apologize for the technical glitches that you might have come across, as all aspects of web based technology is not always in our control. But I can assure you we have tried our best, and this was our first attempt, and we will definitely do better the next time. I request all participants to kindly fill in the feedback form and which is there in the WebEx chat box as also in the YouTube chat box, because we will be unable to paste it in our Telegram group. We only want our registered participants to submit the feedback form. You will be receiving your certificates within the next 4 to 5 days. Please give us some time. If there is a delay, then please don't get worried. You will definitely get your certificates. And even after a particular period of time, say after 5 days, if you do not receive it, then do contact us. If there is any problem on our side, we will definitely rectify it. So, to conclude, I would like to say that we hope we shall overcome the plight of this raging pandemic and see brighter days in the near future and prepare ourselves to serve the cause of education in even better ways. Thank you all and a very good night to all of you. Thank you.